What's going on, guys? I'm Jace.
I'm Josh.
And we are finally reacting to Scarlet Witch versus Zatanna. About fucking time, huh?
Yeah. When it comes to Scarlet Witch, I feel like the MCU doesn't do her powers justice. I feel like they're kind of getting there with how much she can just fuck with reality. They're getting to like how much her like crazy powers are like capable of. How accurate is it to the comics? I don't know. And then there's Zatanna, which I've only seen her in a couple things of Medium. I saw she's in the Justice League animated series, Batman the animated series, and Young Justice. But the difference between them is that Zatanna's magic requires her to talk. I think the video might say something to the contrary, but she speaks backwards, literally. Like if she wants to say,
So it's an incantation.
It's an incantation, but it's all like backwards incantations. Like
that's what isn't that what an incantation is?
Yeah, like one time she defeated Shazam by saying "Yas Mazaz," which is backwards for saying "Say Shazam," which forced him to say Shazam and turn back to Billy Batson.
What?
Yeah, she could pretty much do anything. I mean, it's magic, for fuck's sake. Magic Land.
It's also okay. This probably isn't true for the Okay, what is the truest origin of Scarlet Witch's powers?
She's a mutant.
A mutant. All right.
Yeah, because the daughter of Magneto.
Because in the MCU, she got her powers from the Mind Stone, which is just bizarre.
It's a very strange way to go about interpreting the character, but sure. I mean, I can't think of anything you would have seen or watched to know anything about Zatanna. Let's just go into it then.
I mean, making Shazam say Shazam is a pretty clear, easy way. It's like out there, be like, oh, I just gonna make you say Shazam. I'll get a little bit of whatever she said.
Well, it's more than apparently it's more than just saying it backwards. She has to like practice and shit. But I mean,
I imagine
to get around it,
she's at a point.
She can just speak backwards is basically her second language. But the thing about it is that I don't really know. She probably has figured out how to do some magic without talking, but most of it, I believe, requires talking. So if Scarlet Witch wants to beat her mostly or give her a huge advantage, just, cover her mouth.
Let's not forget, one thing that also I want to keep in mind. In WandaVision, Wanda learned to create runes that prevent anyone from using magic except the person who casted the runes. So I don't know if Zatanna would have a way around that, but I guess we'll find out.
Mm-hmm. She said it to Wumbo. Remember that? I gave him a bad flashback.
Shut the fuck up. Okay. And let's dive into the analysis. Ready?
Yep.
Let's do it. Remember, Patreon is a thing.
Mm-hmm. It exists.
Seriously? Did you seriously just stagger for a second there? You suck. Bum, bum, bum.
Bum, bum. Professional YouTuber.
Why the fuck is it so quiet?
I got it.
Queen of Chaos. Zatanna, DC's magnificent
Zatanna, though,
magic.
so hot. That's like one of my first childhood crushes, man. I'm telling you.
And there are those who just like to put on a hell of a show. Either way, don't mess with them if you know what's good for you. He's Wiz and I'm Boomstick.
And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle.
Here we go.
Though we may drift day by day in a world seemingly concrete and eternal, the fabric of reality is in fact more delicate
Multiverse.
than we might dare to wonder. Imagine every single iota of it, every star, galaxy, universe, all within the grasp of a single mortal woman. To control at her whim.
What?
Imagine the danger we're all in if you piss her off.
We don't have to, because her name is Wanda Maximoff, the Scarlet Witch. As a kid, she and her brother Pietro were poor Romani, who were lucky enough to be turned into super-powered freaks by the High Evolutionary.
Unable to control her apparently new magical abilities, it wasn't long before Wanda lost control and was branded a witch.
She has all these fucking powers, meanwhile her brother just runs really fast.
Himself, Magneto. Definitely giving him some big dad energy there.
So, to return Magneto's kindness, she and Pietro joined his Brotherhood of Evil.
I'm guessing...
Great name there, Magneto. Solid branding.
And it wasn't long before she
mutations aren't genetic, like
for a membership with the Avengers,
quirks,
which might have been a bit too much for poor Wanda because she definitely drew the superpower short stick.
By waving her hands, Wanda could create small random events known as hexes, subtly altering the probability of any event happening.
That's a cool way of saying she could do like one magic-y thing per fight and then be totally useless. An energy blast here, some telekinesis there, a force field if she's feeling frisky. Not exactly the same oomph as, say, the God of Thunder or the Jolly Green Worldbreaker.
But something strange was happening. Over time, her hexes increased in breadth and power, as if
They
there
gave
was
the character
more
more
to Wanda's
depth.
powers than met the eye. She learned to slow and stop time, drain and absorb energy, duplicate herself and others, teleport to different dimensions, and even strip others of their powers entirely.
It was almost as if there was more to Wanda than just being some random science experiment. Let's ask our resident expert on the deepest trenches of character history. Jocelyn, if you will.
The intern.
In reality, Wanda's powers weren't entirely the result of the High Evolutionary, nor was she the mutant daughter of Magneto, as he's claimed. Her powers weren't just some simple hexes. She might as well have been a god. Until now, she had merely been dipping her toes into the vast ocean known as chaos magic. Though her powers may have seemed to be the byproduct of science, they were in reality the gift of the Lovecraftian elder god Cthon, who attempted to turn Wanda into his future vessel.
Reminds me of my summers by the sea with old Uncle Yogg-Sothoth.
In time, Wanda discovered she could alter the probability of anything she could think of, turning a mathematical impossibility into an absolute certainty, and vice versa. Wanda's powers kept growing and growing, turning her into a being strong enough to rival even the mightiest of gods. Like, literally, Wanda's chaos magic is counterpart to the Phoenix Force, the embodiment of cosmic order. You know, that fiery space chicken that can destroy the universe? Wanda fought it, and even briefly erased it from existence.
At her height, the Scarlet Witch achieved total control over energy, the weather, the elements, your mind, your body, your soul, all of time, all of matter, and all of reality. She can wipe you from existence with a thought and rend the very fabric of the universe as though it were tissue paper.
She isn't even
You're even more excited to see Multiverse now?
They
Because
might
she's
not
gonna be in it.
her god, but the high evolutionary experiments did make her more receptive to channeling magical energy. Oh, maybe that's why Mama Boomstick always warned me about redheads.
She's so receptive, in fact, that Wanda is the lone nexus being of the 616 reality, a focal point for the universe's magical energies, and one that belongs equally to all other timelines.
It's no wonder she was considered a candidate for Sorcerer Supreme. I mean, shit, why wasn't she? She might as well be walking
Multiverse
totally
Madness
in
might
it.
end with her becoming Sorcerer
She may
Supreme.
have the power
Dude, that
of
would
a
be
god,
fucking
she's still
amazing.
stuck with a human's body that can be overpowered by physically stronger foes. Though
She hasn't really
she
been done
also
much
has
justice
a
in,
bullet capable of,
so far in the MCU.
world-shattering energy. So there's that.
She does technically need to be able to think of a spell in order to get it to happen, so she could theoretically be blitzed. But she's also blocked Thor's galaxy-crossing hammer, kept up with dudes like X-Man who can fight within plank time, and even amp her own speed beyond the concept of speed herself.
Despite being far and away the mightiest among Earth's mightiest heroes, Wanda resented the pressure of her incredible power. She actually wanted a quiet life as a wife and a mother.
But because no one in comics is allowed to have a happily ever after, that life was taken from her by literal Satan. Not the last time he'd do this, too. Wanda snapped, and she took the multiverse with her.
By tapping into an inconceivable and unknowable pool of energy known as the Life Force, Wanda rewrote all of reality, creating a new universe where life was just how she wanted it.
No matter whose lives she had to change, in this House of M, she had her family back, but at the cost of her sanity.
And it wasn't long before it all came crashing down around her. Once her family and friends discovered the lie of their new lives and turned against her, she uttered
It's kinda like what happened in
fateful
WandaVision.
words and erased nearly all of mutant kind. No more mutants.
Wanda weaved her magic throughout all of existence, created cracks across reality which spread throughout the Omniverse, and threatened to annihilate all of creation, the entirety of Marvel's
What the
infinite
fuck is the
technology,
Omniverse?
everything that ever was.
Shit got dark, and while Wanda has worked to keep her powers in check since then, that threat is always there. But honestly, that sounds more like a problem for anyone who's stupid enough to get in her way.
Both a blessing and a curse, a help and a hex. Such is the true power of the Scarlet Witch.
Hell yeah.
Come one, come
Okay,
all,
you better blow
see
us
the
away.
magnificent Zatanna
Damn those legs.
Or never was there a greater professor of prestidigital performance.
AKA magic! Except Zatanna's spells aren't just smoke and mirrors, they're the real deal, so you're really getting your money's worth.
She learned everything she knew from her father, Giovanni Zatanna, who put his powers to good use as one of DC's very first superheroes.
Her name is Zatanna Zatara.
The guy who taught Batman everything he knows about escape artistry. He debuted the same issue as Superman, and the young Zatanna was more than happy to serve as his assistant, learning everything he knew about the cutthroat world of entertainment. Oh, and cape shit too, but the former is way worse.
She inherited her father's incredible mystical abilities as well. Essentially, anything Zatanna thinks of, she can make real. And she focuses this absurdly powerful ability by speaking her desired effect backwards. Her father based this technique on the diaries of Leonardo da Vinci, who some theorize wrote backwards in order to hide his ideas from the repressive medieval Catholic Church.
Or because he was
I was at the Spanish
left-handed.
Inquisition.
Yeah, that's another theory.
No one expects the Spanish Inquisition.
And Zatanna's apparently big-brained enough that she has no problem speaking backwards at the drop of a hat. Like when this one dude kept reversing time in the middle of her sentences. She started speaking in palindromes so that she'd still be speaking backwards no matter what. I mean, you know what they say, Wiz? Go hang a salami. I'm a lasagna hug.
With her magic, Zatanna has bent the laws of reality to her whims. She's transmuted matter on an atomic level, teleported across dimensions, commanded the elements, turned invisible, removed powers, cast illusions, read and controlled minds, traveled through and stopped time, and can even wipe people from existence with a single word.
It might not seem obvious from that hokey magic castle getup, but Zatanna is one of the most powerful sorcerers in DC. Like the time she battled the Time Tailor Zor, an old enemy of the Spectre. You know, the angel of God's divine wrath.
In order to defeat an opponent of such unimaginable power, Zatanna focused her magical might into shattering the boundaries of reality. She reached
What the fuck is that
beyond
costume?
the very comic panels themselves and pulled Zor's entire magical universe down around him. She literally handled all of reality like it was a sheet of paper and crumpled it in her
I
hand.
swear to God, they're gonna come out of the screen and fuck up this entire room.
Incomprehensibly impossible to us, but it's all a matter of belief. Literally, as long as Zatanna believes she can do something with her magic, she'll do it.
As she puts it, her magic is essentially asserting one reality, then replacing it with another. This is similar to other magical characters like Dr. Fate and Green Lantern, whose powers have been stated to work the exact same way.
But it's not like any rando can do magic by wishing on a star. Zatanna is genetically predisposed to this kind of magical reality warping. Her mom was in actuality a homo magi, a subrace of humans that are naturally adept at magic.
So it's no wonder that Zatanna became an invaluable member of both the Justice League of America and Justice League Dark. The Shadow the Hedgehog version, basically.
Zatanna harnessed an entire year's worth of sunlight into a single energy blast, created ruptures across all of space and time throughout the DC multiverse, and has even claimed she's as powerful as Superman himself. Pre-Crisis Superman, in case you were wondering.
Oh!
Her only limit is her imagination and will. In fact, her backward speaking is mostly a stagecraft tradition meant to boost her concentration.
In a pinch, she can cast a spell with a single thought, and I doubt anyone's winning a quick draw with her. She's matched superheroes like Martian Manhunter, who scanned every mind on Earth in a blank instant. Or how about Dr. Fate, whose magic traveled across the universe at the completely immeasurable velocity of God.
Zatanna has fended off countless reality-shattering threats like the Eldritch Upside-Down Man, Primordial Darkness, that is evil incarnate, and the Void Beyond Creation, Pralaya.
This shadow goop lady ate all of DC Comics, all of creation, everything. Gods, demons, rabbits, and spandex, everything. And Zatanna's magic was strong enough to hold her back.
And then, after secretly implanting Swamp Thing inside Pralaya, she weaved a spell within him to literally regrow all of reality back in seconds.
From Swamp Thing?
Tricked a being older than God, and then blew
Okay,
her ass up from the inside.
I don't know who to
Whole
pick
new
now.
Omniverse. Abraca goddamn Dabra.
Such is the
Still probably gonna have to go
power
with,
of Zatanna's
actually,
will.
Scarlet
Should
Witch,
it falter,
probably.
though, or
I
should
don't
the
know
folks
for
be
sure yet.
disrupted, it could all come crashing down like a house of cards. Belief is a fragile thing, after all, and her powers were weakened for a time after she lost belief in herself.
And she's definitely got one big weak point. She's a huge daddy's girl.
Despite her amazing career, she has struggled within herself to live up to her father's legacy, especially after his heroic death.
And this MFer has died a lot of times.
Oh.
So Z's therapy can't be cheap, especially after dating John Constantine. Oh, I can just smell the lager and self-loathing from here. No, oh wait, that's me.
Questionable romance aside, Zatanna is a consummate professional raised on one singular principle. The show must go on, and she'll always finish strong with a standing ovation.
I want to go with Scarlet Witch.
Are we,
but
are we sharing it? Because remember, we weren't supposed to convince each other. That's what
Too
happened.
late. I'm just going to say I'm going with I forgot about that, but I'm going with Scarlet Witch.
I'm going with Zatanna.
Zatanna?
Zatanna, because
All right.
DC. Because
I
DC.
don't. Here's the thing, though.
Pre-Crisis Superman, are you kidding me? Who sneezes and destroys galaxies?
I don't want to slap that.
Aww. Pussy. How about we pocket it?
Fine.
We'll pocket it, okay?
Ugh.
Since we're going different. Alright. I'm going with Zatanna. You're going with Scarlet Witch?
Yep.
Alright. Damn. God damn those legs.
Thank you. And for my
I say that even though she's pixels.
You didn't find out, by the way, who the next battle is, did you?
No, did you?
Unfortunately.
Okay.
ta-da!
Ta-da!
You, what sort of two-bit sorceress do you think you are?
Oh, they're doing an accent?
Two-bit? Perhaps I was being generous. All part of the show, folks.
It's gonna end with, like, her killing Scarlet Witch and then bowing to the audience. Oh, is that the real one? Oh! The bunnies!
Huh?
What is happening?
Oh!
How the fuck did she do that?
I'd say this calls for...
It's like Egyptian magic.
Oh my gosh! Yo, this might be actually sick. Oh! Fight!
Do you know the difference?
They're like playing Pokemon or Yu-Gi-Oh! Or something. Shit.
Well, I think the difference is... presentation!
Presentation!
And I know a trick when I see one.
Oh god.
She hasn't spoken a palindrome. Out of
What
the
the
screen.
Universes. You can't run forever. Now make like a magician and disappear.
Oh god, she killed those people. Juggling universes. That's a vibe.
For the record, if she rivaled Superman, isn't Superman just vulnerable to
Magic.
Yeah. So I don't think that's that big of a thing taken into consideration.
A disappearing act was the first thing Dad ever taught me. And for my final trick, smash it roll once.
She didn't even speak it. Didn't she just think it?
Well, she did a reversal. Oh, what the hell? Oh!
It sounded like she was thinking it.
Cut her in half! Oh, hell yeah.
And that's our show.
Ah,
ladies
damn
and
it.
germs.
The 2D Zatanna, hell yeah, I'm in love.
Oh, now that's a magic trick that's to die for.
Analyzing this matchup was like walking on a tightrope. It could fall either way at any point.
Because at the end of the day, both these ladies could do basically anything with their magic. All they had to do was think and shit would happen. They were totally even. At her peak, Wanda was able to threaten the stability of all creation.
And at Zatanna's best, she was able to hold back Prolaya, who could do the exact same thing. And despite some differences, the omniversal cosmologies of Marvel and DC Comics are roughly equivalent in size and scope. All that was left for us to look at was their weaknesses.
While both were as powerful as one another, Wanda needed to tap into the life force to reach that pinnacle, and doing so threatened her sanity.
Let's take a closer look at the events.
Probably one of the
Wanda's
closest
powers were at
matchups.
their maximum.
Despite admitting that she was way stronger, Doctor Strange managed to get the best of Wanda with a cool head and a spell that briefly knocked her out cold.
His wits against her mental instability were enough to turn the tide.
To be clear, this instability definitely wouldn't affect her power. She was still strong.
Then again, Zatanna has tricked people.
And then erase it just as easily. What it would do is leave her open.
Also, take her No More Mutant spell. As insanely powerful as it was to affect the whole of Marvel's creation, it wasn't entirely successful. There was still a tiny portion of Earth's mutant population left unaffected, likely due to interference from Strange and Emma Frost.
Against Zatanna, who is just as strong and not losing her mind, she wouldn't be able to afford that kind of lapse, even for an instant.
On the other hand, Zatanna has managed to maintain her willpower fighting foes just as strong as the Scarlet Witch, so she didn't have the same kind of exploitable weakness.
And remember, she doesn't actually need to say her spells backwards.
It helps with her concentration, but all her spells
really?
come from her mental impulses, just like Wanda. She's consistently pulled off non-verbal spells in the past, even against beings as strong as Pralaya.
In the end, Z definitely
That's such a weird
fighting and keeping on her toes
thing.
to hang with Wanda long enough to get in a finishing blow.
While there were definitely
I guess everybody
versions
needs a
of the battle
gimmick.
that could have ended with Wanda victorious, Zatanna's cooler head and effortless magic allowed her to prevail.
I guess you could say Wanda never saw it coming, and Zatanna macks him off her.
The winner is Zatanna.
Hell yeah.
Are you ready?
All right, it's gonna be Tanjiro, and I'm gonna guess Jonathan Joestar.
New membership program for our YouTube channel. By directly supporting our team, you'll get unique emotes, badges, and additional content, and a bunch more. Click that join button to see more info, and thanks so much for watching.
Yeah, JoJo! Hell yeah.
Why them?
Because they're both wholesome good boys.
Shut up and tell me the actual reason.
That's that. I'm telling you the actual reason.
No, bullshit. No, you're not.
The similarities. They're both wholesome good boys who fight monsters that die in the sunlight. Dio is a vampire, and Tanjiro deals with demons. I don't know if you should watch that one. It's gonna spoil the manga, and you haven't even finished season 1. If you want, you can skip it, and I can react to it. What?
No.
Why?
Fuck no.
Fine,
That's not happening.
Do you want to spoil it?
What's wrong with waiting?
You're gonna be waiting for years, man. The show's not even. Do you want to read the manga? I have it. You.
What do you mean years?
It's gonna take years to animate the whole season, the whole series.
The fuck? How much of the manga is there?
There's like 4 more arcs left. They just finished season 2, but it's gonna. But there was a gap of like 3 years between seasons 1 and 2. If you want to be generous, you could say you start 2 years. Do you got another 2 years?
God damn it.
When it comes to Jonathan, there's nothing left to tell. His story is done. If you ask me, for you, the viewer at home, I think Tanjiro wins this fight. I know it's a meme how fucking strong Jonathan is, but I mean, Tanjiro's holding his own against all these characters. I'm like, shit, there's no way Jonathan is that strong. Because Haman isn't a strength booster, is it? I don't think it is. I'm trying to think if there's ever a moment where Jonathan punched a car or something.
Alright, enough of the anime talk. Damn it.
Okay, we're just going to pocket that. The Nightshade Vault.
Hope you guys enjoyed the reaction. I'm Jace.
Let us know in the comments what you think we should do about this Demon Slayer debacle. Alright. Bye!